lot of people always tell me, you should write a book. And I think that's kind of rude, because let's assume I haven't already wrote a book. Alright, I'm what some people would call an author, pretty good at it. I write things. And today, I'm going to be sharing with you today my first book, alright? It's called The Mystery in Antarctica. And, I wrote this book when I was 8 years old, and it was supposed to be a Christmas book. And what does it have to do with Christmas? Well, nothing, except that it's probably just a gift to the world. And, yeah, so let me read you guys The Mystery in Antarctica. There was a robbery at 23rd Street. The tires on the car went swish as Joe was racing to the bank. By the time Joe got to the bank, the robber was gone. When Joe was back in the police station, the sheriff said, "Mr. Mackler, I know where the robbers are going." As you can see, there's like a blue pickup truck, which is the type of vehicle that cops just love to drive around in. And, see the purple air, which shows that this town must have a pollution problem. And, yeah, there's a little guy in the corner. He's probably the robber, which Joe's going to drive past because, he's not a very good cop, probably. They are going to Antarctica. I want you to go there to find those crooks. Remember to dress real warm. By the way, call me Joe, Mr. Mackler said. David Bilko, the bank president, said, "Catch those robbers." The sheriff handed Joe $300 and said, "Buy warm clothes and food." It's exactly how the police handle situations. They just go to a detective, like, "Here's $300 for sweatshirts and granola bars." Alright. About 2 hours later, Joe came back with his accessories and boarded a plane that was gray with red, white, and blue stripes on its wings. It was leaving Springfield. When Joe got to Antarctica, he parachuted out of the plane. That's right, you just jump out of a plane when you can get to your destination. No need for it to land. Ooh, and there's a little clue around the border. The plane pilots did not steal the money, so I guess we know they didn't do it, unless that's just part of the scheme to get you to think that they didn't do it. Then Joe landed on the ground that was pure white, then turned around and saw a trail of money. At the end of the trail, there was a big rock. Ooh, some more clues, I guess, for you intellectuals out there. Joe pushed and pushed the rock, but it would not budge. Finally, Joe moved the rock, and there was a hole in the ground. Then, Joe saw that there was a ladder in the hole and walked down. Joe's been playing a lot of Zelda. Like, who does that? Just goes trying to push rocks. Like, I'm going to find the hideout under one of these rocks. When Joe got to the bottom, it was filled with insects and rats. Then Joe thought that he must be in the robber's hideout, because that's just what robbers do. They just hang out in places that are infested with insects and rats when they're clearly rich from robbing banks. Ooh, and, we got some numbers around the corners. More clues for the academics. "Oops," Joe said, "I forgot my gun at home." This is a line, this is right out of the Deadpool movie. I think they stole this from The Mystery in Antarctica. And I'll be expecting, some royalties for that. Joe called Sandy Tasho and Julie Roberts, the plane pilots, on his cellular phone. Ooh, look at this beast. This thing is probably like the original iPhone or something. Imagine using Facebook on that. Then they called Matt Trito for backup. Who are these people? Maybe Sandy Tasho and Julie Roberts? I don't even know. I wonder when my backup will get here, Joe said. Looks like Joe might be sporting a Mario mustache. He's got that Italian plumber thing going. There was a dark, lurking shadow behind him. Uh-oh, Joe, you better watch out. Better hit that guy with your flashlight or paddle or whatever it is you're holding. Joe turned quickly, and he was shot in the chest. Wow, this is getting pretty dark out of nowhere. Then, when the robbers left, Joe got up. Luckily, Joe was wearing his bulletproof vest, Joe said to himself. You know, that's just such a good line. I think I need to read it again. Luckily, Joe was wearing his bulletproof vest, Joe said to himself. Look at this picture of Joe. There has to be something in the water in Antarctica because Joe, out of nowhere, got some pretty big breasts. Joe got up and chased the robbers because, you know, it's the smart thing to do. Just chase robbers that have guns when you don't. And didn't you get up 2 pages ago, Joe? Joe lost track of them and went in the wrong direction. I swear, Joe has to be like the worst cop in the world. Like, you're pretty bad, Joe. How do you lose somebody in a cave? The way Joe went led to the money and a map. The map told Joe how to get out of here. I guess that's exactly what thieves do that are good at robbing banks. They just leave their money sitting out in the open with a map how to get out of their hideout. Ooh. We have a nice picture here of Joe holding something. I don't know what it is. Maybe a yodel? I don't know. Maybe that's what he spent his $300 on. Because that's probably what I'd spend it on, like junk food. Then Joe saw the robbers and caught them. One Joe went through like it was a ghost. Damn, this criminal got really big all of a sudden. Must be working out, eating his Wheaties. Then Joe saw a movie camera playing. That was the second robber, Joe said to himself. Oh wow, this is like some Scooby-Doo stuff right here. Then Joe unmasked the robber and it was ? The suspense. Gotta keep those readers hooked. Then finally the police station came and arrested ? Oh man, I don't even tell you who the robber is. You actually had to be paying attention to the story and looking at the clues in order to know who the robber is. Bet you guys can't even figure out who the robber is. Ooh, and the last page has a picture of the author back when I was a sweet and innocent little boy. Look at that smile. Look at it. Oh man. Used to be so good back then. Do you know what the best thing and the saddest thing about this book is? Is that, like, if this video gets something crazy like 4 or 5 views, then it's already more known than most aspiring authors' works. So just think about that for a second. Don't give up, you know. Keep working towards your goals, authors. I know it's hard to compete with the mystery in Antarctica, but, you know, you just gotta keep going.